If you like my YouTube and Rumble channels, please subscribe. It does not cost you anything. And please leave comments. I do read them and I do appreciate them, and I try to apply as much as I can to give the viewers what they want to see and what they want to hear to learn about bally songs and all sharp things. Okay, here we go. Old school bally song. This video is my second attempt at longer content, and it's also about my dear friend John Archibald, also known as Indiana John. Now, this one may be a long video because I really like John. He's a really good friend. The way I got introduced to him was I saw his work. It was one of his MBTs, and I really liked it. I had no idea who he was, what he was, how old he was, anything about him. But I made a comment on my Instagram, and he made a comment back, and we got to talking, and he offered me this. He offered to sell me the very first channel bally song he ever made. That was kind of a lie, and we'll get to that later. I guess I should rephrase, that's the first nice channel bally song he ever made. Although the other one's pretty cool too. Anyway, back to John. That conversation led to this beautiful knife. It is a full channel, carbon fiber inlays with, I can't remember where he got the Damascus from, the Damascus blade. This thing is, it's very nice. It's too handle biased for me, and it's pointy, so I'm afraid to flip it because I don't want to tip it. And I know I sound like Dr. Seuss when I say that. It's just a beautiful piece. I do flip it from time to time, but not nearly enough. And he also made me this right-handed sheath for it. So he also does leather work, I found out. Well, let's fast forward a bit. And he came out with, we got to talking, and he didn't know what to call these because they're not midtechs. He's getting away from midtechs, and he wanted to call this an old tech, which he did, but he wanted to make a channel, and then he also wanted to make sandwich. So I suggested, well, just call this an OTC and the other one an OTS. So I have the O1C for channel. Then I was able to get this. It's the OTS number 1. So this is the first sandwich he made in this line, not the first sandwich bally song he ever made. This is the first channel, completed channel he ever made. And he made me a left-handed sheath for this one. And again, I don't flip this one very much. It's way fun to flip though, and I don't flip it because of the tip and that it's number 1. He's back. that, and that sheath. Then I got to meet John. Oh wait, I'm trying to remember the line. Yep, okay. When I got this one, he also showed me this one. This, I believe, is technically the first channel bally song he ever made. This one, it is all forged by him. It is a hand-forged blade, hand-forged titanium handles, channel handles, and hand-forged copper pivots. I know it's a beast, and it's rough, and it has so much play. And tap. But this thing actually flips really nice. It's heavy, but it flips really nice. I had to beg him to sell me this. It wasn't for sale. But I begged enough and I got it, and I got these two at the same time. And this one, this is like one of my pride and joys of my collection. It means so much to me, this one. And let's put this one over here. Then I was lucky enough to meet John in person at Blade Show West. And that is where I found he made fixed blades. This is a little fixie fighter that, again, this one was not for sale because it has a flaw in the blade. I did not care. This one is like he made it for me. The way it fits my hand, as far as a fighter goes, I mean, it's just, I loved it. I fell in love with it. Again, persuaded him, he sold it to me, and that is when I also got my very first, hang on, don't want to knock anything off, Indiana John whip. This is an 8-foot long stock whip that I'm not that good at cracking yet because I'm not that good of a cracker since I hurt, that's funny, since I got my shoulder surgeries and everything. And then this one is loaded with shot. So when I do crack it, it is freaking loud. And I love this whip, even though I can't crack it. Someday though, someday I'll be able to crack it. So at that show, I was able to get this whip and this fixie and to meet my friend in person. From there, where are we going? Okay. I really do try not to buy his knives, but I just saw this one when he posted it. It is the OTS number 3. And I just love the red. And the weight of this, the balance of this, it's just so nice. This is W2 steel. I can't remember what this one is. W2 as well. This is a fun one to flip, and I do flip it because it's not that big of a tip. So it does have a little tap in there, but that could just be because I need to tune it. Okay. Oh, let's back up. At the show, we got to talking about the MBT. I had a couple of MBTs there, and I wasn't in the position to buy one because he was raffling it off. And I already begged him to buy this one, so I didn't want to push my new friendship to the limits with him. So we got to talking, and the MBTs were midtechs. And John really wants to bring everything in-house. We'll get more on that later. And so I commissioned him then to make me a midtech, but instead of, an MBT, instead of having him make it a midtech, to make it in-house. And the diamond cutouts, I suggested, why don't you engrave them? Because he has this really cool engraver. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. It starts with a P, like Palladium. He's corrected me like a million times on what it's called. Anyway, he needed to make a template to make these. These are spaced wrong. They were supposed to be more spaced, like in the middle. He wasn't really happy with this, but when it was done, I'm like, dude, that's mine. And another nice thing about this, oh, by the way, MBT stands for Modified Bowie Tonto. This is Damascus that John himself forged. So he made that himself. I just love this blade profile. So this is the Old Tech Mid-Tech. It's a custom. He designated it as 01 because this line is going to continue. He doesn't know if he's going to keep this spacing or if he's going to make another template. But he's so busy with other things. that he'll get to this project in the future, I'm pretty sure, because he loves this knife. And this one flips. This one is fun to flip. I have videos of me flipping this on my Instagram. Okay. Then from there, sorry, my allergies are killing me. Oh, this one. He's also does woodwork, as you can tell by this handle. He made this custom box for me, and it is very tight fitting. I have a hard time opening it, so I'm going to leave it open. But when it's closed, I'll go ahead and close it for you. When it's closed, it looks like a solid piece of wood. As a matter of fact, I couldn't figure out how to open it. I can't even figure out how to close it. There we go. There we go. So you can see when it's closed, you can barely see the seams. So when I got it, I was like, okay. And it's hard to open. But this is beautiful. I mean, this is just so beautiful. Anyway, so yeah, he does woodworking as well. And then I got this one, not from him. I got it secondhand. It's funny because he was auctioning this one off, and I do not like auctions. But John's a dear friend, and I just got the bug. And me and I can't remember who else it was because I just didn't sleep well last night. We were going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then when he won, I thought I had won because I was working and trying to bid. But the way it was working was if someone put a bid in the last certain amount of time, it went another 10 minutes. I thought the time had elapsed because I hadn't refreshed my Instagram. Anyway, long story short, I lost the auction, but the winner offered this to me if he ever decided to sell it. And sure as shit, he honored that, and he sold it to me at my last bid. And this is Old Tech number 6S. And this one flips. This one is nice. I love this one. And John went ahead and made me, because it came with a paracord latch, and he made me extra spacers to put in there and sent me some extra screws, and I broke one. That's why I have one silver one in there. But I'm hiding it because I'm not going to ask him for a replacement since I already asked him for those. And then from this one, okay, and I'm trying to remember the timeline. Oh, yes. Before this one, I asked him to make me a custom 4-foot whip, leather bullwhip, and he did. Here it is. This one cracks really nice. It's got cable inside. I used to actually crack this one a lot. It's actually allowing me to become a better whip cracker. So this one I can crack, and it's just so well made, in my opinion. I don't know much about whips, but I love this one. And when he shipped this one to me, he shipped this one and the next knife I'm going to show you, and he had like a little mini stock whip, which I had to get to match my other one. And then he has these little mini bull whips. I don't know how to crack this one yet, but it sure is cute as hell. I believe this is a IPE or Coca-Cola wood handle. The construction on this one is very nice. This is just so cute. So I got those whips, and then I got this one. I fell in love with this one when I saw it. Didn't know if I could afford it or not. When we got to talking, He offered me a deal. I said, what the heck? And this is one that John told me that he wished he could keep himself. You know, makers say that all the time. But John's a really good flipper. So I'm like, okay. And I got it. I can see why this knife is perfect, in my opinion. Perfect balance, perfect weight, perfect feel. The feel of the handles. There's no jimping, no nothing on it, and it has grip, and it's a super flipper, I gotta tell you. It's just fun to flip. It's stainless steel, AEBL. It's dirty because I've been flipping it a lot. This is O-Tech S number 7. And this knife, it flips amazing, amazing. So those are all the pieces I have from Indiana John. Now, let's get into Indiana John's, let's get into him. He's young. I believe he is 22 to 24 right now. I know he's older than 22. But he made his first knife basically out of plastic when he was 6 years old. You know, he'd take the plastic utensils and make little folders and that type stuff. I think most of us kids that are in, if we're into knives, we did that when we were kids. And he started making, or collecting tools, I'm sorry, let's get back to the tools, when he was 9 or 10. Now that collection has really bloomed. When he started his business in 2020, the first year from 2020 to 2020 was all just him finding and buying machines and tools. And he would buy these machines and he would refurbish and fix these machines. And these machines are old and they're big. And so he is a handmade maker. He doesn't have a CNC machine. He has mills and lathes and presses. The Palathian, I wish I could pronounce it, engraver that I was telling you about. The forge, his parents bought him a forge for his birthday when he was 16, so he started forging then. And he has been to a lot of metalworking type classes that I know of. I believe he's certified in one. But the thing about him is he's making and fixing the machines to make the knives. So he will make a part for a machine so he can make the machine to make a knife. Or one, I can't remember the exact situation. He needed a part for a machine. So he made this part so he could fix this machine working so he could make another part for another machine. Yeah, he's very talented. And he's young. I mean, he's a kid. What else need to say about him? He lives in New Hampshire, up in the mountains. He's a great guy. I mean, he's so down to the earth and give you the shirt off your back kind of guy. And he's just nice as can be. He used to be a gymnast. Don't know how that applies to anything, but it shows part of his work ethics. Let me see, what else we need to say about him? I think that's about it. Anything else will sound like I'm just kind of a creeper. Let's see. I got my notes over here. I'm going to check. He started making ballys, I think, when he was 14, 15. And it has evolved into this. But like I said, he doesn't just make bally songs. He also makes fixed blades. I don't know if he's done an actual folder, but I think he has. I know he does small fixies, larger fixies, Bowie knives, that type stuff. And the leatherwork and the woodwork. So multi-talented maker across the board. And I will put a link to his YouTube, and you can take a look at it because he does it's like I do a bally song of the week. Does a machine of the week. So he goes over a machine each week, and it's really quite fascinating. Some of the videos are long, some are short. He has a video on whip making, and it's just really good, really fun content on there. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like it. Also subscribe to this YouTube channel. I really want to get it growing so I can continue doing this and get more people interested in bally songs and blade making. My grandfather was a blacksmith and bladesmith, so I go back a long way when it comes to knives and bally songs. My grandfather didn't make bally songs, he made fixed blades and kitchen knives mainly. Sorry, chef's knives, hunting knives. Okay, so that's it. Please like this video if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like something. If you like something, if there's something you want to hear, something you want to see, let me know. I will do my best to get it. And I do try to respond to all of the messages. And subscribe and share this with your friends. Let's get this, like I said, let's get this channel going. Okay, y'all have a great day. Old School Bally Song, Indiana John.